So let's talk about how we back up a certification authority. Now I'm going to start by going to my file manager and I'm going to create a folder where I can put this backup. So I'm going to go to my C drive and I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to call it CA Backup. Okay, so the way I back it up is pretty straightforward. I go to Tools, Certification Authority, and from my certification authority, I simply right click on my server, go to All Tasks, and Backup CA. Click Next. Now I can back up the private key in the CA certificate and or the certificate database. I'm going to go ahead and back it all up. I'm going to set my location, C:\CA backup. And then this is going to be encrypted with a password. Make sure you do not share this password because that includes the private key, and if that gets compromised, we have lots of problems. And finish. So that backs up my certification authority. And then I can use that to restore my keys, and it's the same thing in reverse. Right click, all tasks, restore CA, and then you choose what you want to restore. Okay, what about if I want to back up a key or archive a key, a specific key for a user? And this is something you might want to encourage your users to do as well. So I'm going to open up my MMC the way we did before. And from my MMC, go to File, Add Remove Snap-in, and I'm going to choose my certificate snap-in and add for my user account. And then I choose the certificate that I want. Let me go to my personal certificates. And let's say I want to take my code signing certificate. I can get the right one here. Right click on that certificate, all tasks, and export. And that will allow me to export that certificate out. So very similar. I can choose to export the private key or not. In this case, this associated private key is marked as non-exportable, so I can't do it with my code signing certificate. Let me see if I can do it with one of my EFS certificates. Export. Next. Yes, this time I want to export the private key. Some certificates will have that marked where you can't export the private key with it. So click Next, and I can export in any one of these formats. I'm going to leave it as the default, Personal Information Exchange. And then we can use a password. And again, we want to password protect it. Because again, we're exporting a private key. And then you can set your encryption type. AES is actually a little bit better. Click Next, and file name, EFS, cert. Yep, probably ought to set the location. C:\CA backup /EFS cert. And finish. And that will export. All right, let's go see what we have accomplished here. Nope, don't want to save the settings to my console. Back to my file manager, to my C drive, and my CA backup. So here's my EFS certificate that I exported. Here is the certificate for my CA server, and then here is the database. So we have everything backed up. Now, the reason that EFS certificate is important is because it's really easy to request a new EFS certificate. But if you do, so if a user changes their password and it gets changed inappropriately, and what I mean by that is let's say a user has forgot their password, and they call you as the administrator, and you as the administrator change their password for them, it actually breaks their EFS key, and they can't get to anything that has been previously encrypted with their old EFS key. Now, they can generate a new one, and they can save new files and access them, but not the old ones. So we have to have those keys archived so they can get back into that data. So that's the way you would archive those keys. Okay, hopefully that gives you an idea of how you can protect the certificates and your CA database.